Today, we're going to talk about holding grudges and making people pay over and over and over again for one mistake, for one misgiving. And so I'm going to break it down like this. Imagine this shirt. Say this shirt costs $50. Of course, it didn't cost $50. I don't remember how much it cost, but whatever. And I go in the store and they say, okay, that's going to be $50. And I'm like, okay, well, I like it for $50. And they say every 3 months. And I'm like, wait a minute, how much does it cost? $50. So why am I paying for it every 3 months? Because every 3 months, we want you to repurchase it for that $50. Who would buy that shirt? Unless it's a Gordon Gartrell. I'm sorry, that was a throwback to Cosby. All right, I had to go there. But no one's going to buy this shirt because then you're not buying it. You're renting it. You're leasing it. You're at rent-a-clothes. You ain't at a store buying it. And no one wants to continually pay for something that they've already paid for. And that's what we do when we hold grudges and when we refuse to forgive. We are asking someone to pay for the same mistake over and over again. And that's assuming that they've done something to make amends, to change their ways and their behaviors once that something has happened. So say I forget a special day. And for forgetting that special day, I'm like, hey, I'll make it up to you. We can go any place you want, do anything you want. And I sincerely apologize. And then I make sure it never happens again. I never forget that day. But then I get into an argument, or we get into an argument, and then they say, well, you remember that day that you forgot to do this at our special day? And it's like, well, wait a minute. I apologize for it. I made sure it never happened again. And I gave you an alternate gift for it. So why are we bringing this up? Well, I'm just saying I remember this. Well, what you're telling me is that you want me to pay for it again. You want me to go through the same remorse. You want me to go through the same makeup. You want me to go through the same resolve that I already have to not let that happen again. And so what we do is we charge people for the same shirt every 3 months for the rest of their lives. And then we wonder why they get upset with us, or they don't want to talk about it, or they call us unreasonable or unfair, or sometimes want to leave us. It's because initially it was like, hey, you forgot my special day. It's like, okay, so let's work this out. What are we going to do? And we come up with the plan. Well, I don't ever want you to forget it again. Got it. You know what I'm saying? I want an apology. Done. Got it. And I would like to make up for the time that we missed. Done. Got it. And we do it. And then 3 or 4 months later, totally different argument, totally different disagreement. You bring it up. That's making me pay for it again. So the question is, if I was doing it to pay for the misgiving, and I'm not just paying for it in an apology, because like I tell people, I don't like apologies. I like better behavior. So I'm not saying don't apologize, but if you're not apologizing with the intent of having better behavior, I really don't value your apology, because how responsible are you and how much responsibility you're taking if you're not committed to making sure that you don't commit the same act over and over again. So what I'm saying is, it's like, okay, I've done this. I thought this took care of this. No. So what you're saying is I have to pay for this act over and over again for the rest of my life until when? You're satisfied? No, because that's disingenuous. It's unfair. If I was going to have to pay for this for the rest of my life, then I would have negotiated a better price. In other words, if I knew I was going to have to answer for this negative act for the rest of my life, I wouldn't have given you a full apology. I'd have gave you a part one, and I would have parsed it out over the years. I wouldn't have took you on something as special. I'd have took you on something less special and parsed it out over the years. And I wouldn't have said, hey, I'm not going to forget it again. I would forget it again every now and then and parse it out over the years, because I know that no matter what I do, it's not going to be enough. So why would I give of myself, pay $50 every 3 months for a shirt? That's the same old shirt. It's not a different shirt. I'm not getting a new shirt. I'm just paying $50 every 3 months for the same shirt, regardless of the wear and tear, no matter what it looks like, just because you want to charge me for it. That's what we do when we hold grudges. That's what we do when we bring up old things that have supposedly been taken care of, forgiven, and paid for based on action, emotion, apology, accountability, and responsibility. Don't do it at all. Once it's paid for, it is paid for. Once a person makes up for what they've done or accounts for what they've done emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, and they've acted on it, and they've purposed in their heart to be a better person or better at whatever it is, and they're living up to that, your right to charge is done. You have no more claim for payment. And when you do, you're no different than someone saying a shirt costs $50 and charging them $50 for the next 3 years, every 3 months for the same shirt. It's just as ridiculous. But we think because we were emotionally hurt by it, it's not, but it is. Either the price has been paid, the responsibility and accountability has been taken, or it's not. But once it is done. And if you don't act in that manner, you are going to again build contempt, and you're going to have a spot where people do not want to be with you. They're not going to trust you. They're not going to be emotionally responsive to you. Why? Because I'm going to have to pay for this for the rest of my life. So why should I expend money? And I'm talking about money emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually in some grand amount, knowing that I'm going to have to do the same thing over and over again for the rest of my life. That just doesn't make sense. And it's not fair, and it's cruel, and it's demeaning. So once the price is paid for a person's misgiving by a contrite heart, by an emotional and honest apology, by a change of behavior and state of mind, it is done. The shirt is paid for, and it is over. Something to think about. I'm out.